Greetings, Bat Family, and welcome to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. You can visit our website at holybatcast.com or find us all over social media on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast and you will find us. If you're a fan of the show and you want to support us, no pressure. You can do whatever you want, but in case you want to do it, we would appreciate it. You can go to patreon.com/holybatcast. And always a big old thank you to our patrons. You guys are amazing. I know that you don't have to do it, and the fact that you choose to do it does mean a whole lot to me. And I've got to give a shout out to our latest patron, Mr. Nathan Toy. Hey, Nathan. I know your name. You've been a fan of the show or a friend of the show for many years now, and I certainly appreciate you taking the dive and choosing to support us on Patreon. That means a lot to us. So thanks, Nathan. You're awesome. You were already part of the family, but now you like it to sit like at the adult table, like the big long table with Bruce Wayne and Vicky. You don't have to sit like at the table in the kitchen with Alfred eating the scraps. You get the big table. Anyway, Nathan, thank you. You're the best. And we love you, and that does mean a lot. And a big thank you again to all our patrons. You guys rock. What else? We're a proud part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can check out those shows at rf4rm.com. And as is usual, I'm Andy DiGenova, your Bat host. Same as always, you can find me on Twitter, X, Instagram, and Letterboxd. It's just my name, Andy DiGenova. It is Christmas time, guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. December is here. And I got a little fun, little Christmas themed episode for all y'all. And I hope you guys are feeling in the festive mood. Me and a good pal, we're going to be sharing some Batman Christmas lists. You're probably wondering, well, what does that mean? Just hang tight. Hang tight for 2 minutes and we'll explain the whole idea to you. But something fun, writing Christmas lists of Batman things for Santa Claus. And so joining me for that is one of my Bat pals. You've heard me talk with him on this show. You've heard me talk with him on Real Fans for Real Movies. He's on Grim Grinning Hosts with our pal Hunter. And yeah, he pops up here and there. He's now a Real Fan mainstay. It's Mr. Preston Willis. Hey, Preston.
I'm all over the place, man. It's so good to be back, Andy. It's been a minute since I've been here on BatCast. So, man, this is exciting. Thank you so much for having me once again.
Of course, I appreciate you making the time for us. It means a lot. When was the last time? You're right, it has been a minute. Couple months.
I'm trying to think. Nonetheless, I'm always here to be had.
That's
so
perfect.
There's that.
Listen, all of us podcast whores, we can smell our own. We know how it is. Have Mike will travel. All that.
That's right.
I don't fall asleep with visions of sugar plums dancing in my head. I go to sleep with visions of Yeti microphones dancing in my head. That's right. I don't count sheep. I count sound waves in an editing program. This is how we work. But all the fellow podcasters out there know what I'm talking about.
Indeed.
So yeah, we got some Christmassy fun to talk about in just a minute. But before that, guys, I know that you're out there gift shopping, and I want to tell you about our friends over at Manscaped. I know you already know about them, but you're going to hear about them again. And it's all good because Santa baby, the season for a fresh cut is finally here with the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have just launched their 5th generation lawnmower to help you avoid another silent night in the bedroom this year. Take care of your special snowflake with Manscaped and watch your South Pole shine like never before. Get the best stocking stuffer of all going to manscaped.com and using the promo code BATSCAPED to get 20% off and free shipping. Mrs. Claus will thank you, or Mr. Claus. We're not here to judge. However you do it, it's all good. Whoever cozies into bed with you on a nice holiday evening is going to thank you for your Manscaped. And they did tell you the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra has launched. It is terrific. I don't know how they keep improving it, but they do. It's whisper silent, where at first I'm like, is it working? No, it's working. It's just super quiet, which is great. It's waterproof, so you can just trim in the shower and like you don't have to worry about getting hair everywhere. It's great. And there's 2 LED lights so you can see what you're doing, which is also super helpful. But no matter what it is you're looking for, go to manscaped.com, do a little perusing. Buy yourself something nice or buy something nice for someone in your life who thinks could use some of this stuff. The Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer is good. The boxers are good. The nail grooming kit, me and Jamie just picked those up and we really like those. I love the boxers. as my old boxers get thrown away, I've been replacing them with Manscaped boxers because they're just really, really comfortable and really, really nice. So I highly recommend. Go to manscaped.com. It's a great place to do a little bit of shopping. The men in your life deserve something nice. These are nice and they're practical. You can actually use them. So go do a little shopping. And if you're going to make a purchase, please use that promo code BATSCAPED. Get 20% off and free shipping. That way you're going to save a little money. You're also going to help support Holy BatCast in the process. And we can't thank you enough. To everybody who's already done that, we appreciate it. I love the people who tell me, like tag me and go, hey, FYI, just made a purchase on Manscaped. I love that. And I think that's amazing. And I know that you guys are going to be happy with the product. So please go to manscaped.com. If you're going to buy something, again, no pressure, just like Patreon. Listen, you got to do what you got to do. But if you're going to make a purchase, just use that promo code BATSCAPE. That's all that I ask. Get the discount, get the free shipping. And then again, you'll support us in the process. I don't think you'll be sorry. All right. It's a perfect gift giving idea. So Preston, are you in the holiday mood?
Oh my gosh, am I in the holiday mood? Listen, I'm not only in the holiday mood, I'm in the Batman mood, man. I've got a 12-inch CRT with a built-in VHS sitting in front of me with Batman and Robin currently on. I mean, does that give you any idea?
I love it. That makes me happy. That's
Yeah,
so fun.
great.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
dude.
Good for you. Well, can I tell you, like, okay, peek behind the curtain. I was like 5 minutes late before booting up. And you would think it's like, oh, he was putting Harley to bed. I did that like half an hour ago. I was 5 minutes late because I got a big box at my door.
Oh.
And I opened it, and it's the McFarlane Batman and Robin action figures that I ordered with the Mr. Freeze Build-A-Figure, and they're sitting here in front of me, and it's killing me that I can't open them because I'm talking to you. Not that I wouldn't rather, not that I'm happy talking to you, but they're staring me in the face, and I'm like, oh, they're so cool.
Hey, I get it. No offense taken.
It's like Christmas morning. Getting new Batman toys is like Christmas morning, and I just got a nice little happy Christmas, although it was a Christmas gift to myself.
Those look so great too, man. I was so excited that those were announced and are available now.
I love them, and I hope that they sell very well because I would love a set from all the Burton Schumacher films.
Yes.
I would love it. And then like the Dark Knight collection is also awesome, but those I can't find them in the wild, and in the resale market they're like going for like $45 each, which is insane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, the point is I love it. I'm in the holiday spirit, and I got some gifts here just sitting there looking at me, which is exciting.
There we go.
But we are feeling Christmassy, and it has been a little while since the last episode. Like I warned you guys on the last episode, episode releases through the month of December are going to be spotty. They will happen. They're just not going to happen with the regularity that you've become accustomed to. Usually I'm very good. Sunday night before bed, I publish a new episode. But with everything going on, I'm going to be heading back to Illinois for my mom's memorial in a week and a half or something. With all of that, I'm going to do my best. But yeah, episodes are going to just kind of come out when I can make it happen. And this is a perfect example. And I got this idea, Preston, because for a number of reasons. On the last episode, me and Jamie were talking about, I was talking about my mom and the things that she got me. And I mentioned that Batman 89 pamphlet that had all this merchandise in it.
Yes.
And Jamie's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, oh my God. So I had to like get pictures of it, and I posted them on all the social medias, and it made me immediately go, oh my God, like Christmas of 1989, I would just circle everything on this pamphlet and I would want all of it for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Then last week, I was poking around and I was reading our pal Jay Yawz's article where he's been doing all these toy ranking episodes over on Batman News. And they're so fun, guys. If you haven't checked them out and you love Batman toys, go check them out. They're a great time waster in the best possible way. And I was reading one of those, and it was a Batcave that popped up, and it was for the animated series. Yeah, it was the animated series Batcave. And I went, I've seen that Batcave before. And in a very short amount of time, I managed to find that Kenner used the same exact Batcave for Batman Returns, Batman the Animated Series, Batman Forever, The New Adventures of Batman, and Batman and Robin.
And Batman and Robin. Yeah, so you didn't see that before. You've seen it many times before. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like they used it ad nauseum. And I knew that they reused it once or twice. I didn't know they reused it 5 times.
And
And
they would just do something with the color, here
yeah,
and there.
a little tiny recolor and out it goes. And I posted it, and like the post got quite a bit of traction, which was nice to see, and it was fun. But what was fun was the comments, and there were so many comments. And what's crazy is that it was on all the different bat caves, but so many people going, "Oh my God, Christmas of 1992. I remember getting this bat cave.
Oh,
Christmas of 1995. I remember getting this bat cave. Christmas of 1997. I remember." And it was all different people, but it was funny, depending on their age, they
yeah.
all got one of those versions for Christmas. And it just got me thinking about Batman Christmas presents.
Man, I love it. I know I'm not alone here in saying that Batman took up a lot of my Christmas wish list as I was growing up.
And I think that's why I'm doing this episode, is because it didn't take up a lot of mine, shockingly. I know that may sound weird, but in 1989, all I wanted was the movie on VHS, and I got it.
Yeah,
And because I had already gotten the toys during the summer. So like there wasn't as much to ask for Christmas
sure.
in 1989. And then by 92, 92, I had just graduated 8th grade. I was going into high school. So I was just a little too old to ask for all the Batman Returns toys.
Right, right.
And then obviously from that point on, I was a little too old for all of them. And so it's funny, I hear people like you, like Brendan, a lot of our fellow Bat fans who are like, "Oh my
Uh-huh.
God, such and such Christmas was so magical because I got this Bat Cave, or I got this Batmobile, or I got this, or I got that." And I was like, man, like, ironically, for being as big a Batman fan as I am, I never really had a truly Batman Christmas as a kid.
I get it. A lot of that's obviously timing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were kind of getting at. So I mean that makes complete sense.
So this is a way to kind of go back in time and have the Batman Christmas I never had.
Mm,
But because we are rulers of our own domain, I've decided that time is irrelevant.
right.
So here's the assignment I gave you. And so everybody understands what we're doing. I said, let's make a Batman Christmas list. But I'm not talking about like, I want a drivable Batmobile in my driveway, or I want a screen accurate suit. I'm not talking about like these high end collectibles that, we dream about getting now as adults. I'm talking about if you were a kid, when any or all of these movies were released, what would you want for Christmas? So kid stuff, toys, games, etc., etc. That's what I wanted to think about, because I was only a kid for 1989, and at that point I was a teenager and beyond. And so that was the mindset I put myself in. Is I was like, okay, if I was younger in 1992, what would I have wanted? If I was younger in 1995, what would I
Hmm.
wanted, et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. And we each came up with Christmas lists
Oh,
of
did we ever?
yeah, of 5 things. And over the past year, I've done a couple episodes about Batman merchandise or Batman collectibles, and I always have fun doing it. It's kind of a nice little palate cleanser, something that everybody can enjoy. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I thought this was a fun idea that was Christmassy, that we could talk about. Like, if we could go back in time, or at least jump around in time, what would we want for Christmas, Batman related, throughout the years?
Well, mentioning that, you mentioned Jay Yaws and his write-ups. Like that episode you guys did a while back was fantastic.
Oh, we had so much
That was
fun with that.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I told you again, I'm like, dude, you have to stop being a spokesman for eBay. You're killing me over here.
Sorry about it. I mean, I'm not that sorry about it, honestly. Because it's so true. I even told you when I invited you to this, and I said I gave you my idea. You go, dude, I can't be sent to eBay this close to Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sorry, but it's just the price we pay.
That's it.
What are you gonna do? Right? It's all part of it. I mean, you heard, I don't know, well, maybe you haven't listened yet, but on the last Disorder, we were just chatting,
I did.
ended up making an eBay purchase right in the middle of recording.
Oh, the ornament.
Yep. And it
Hilarious.
also arrived at the same time as these action figures.
That's awesome.
But no, I get it. But it's the risk that we run, and so be it. And me and Jay had so much fun doing that we are going to do a follow-up in the new year. So
Good.
yeah, like I feel like it's good companions to the articles that he's been writing of kind of
Oh
looking
yeah.
at highlighting some fun toys from the past. So we'll do that again. But for now, we're going to talk about our Batman Christmas lists as if time has no meaning. Okay,
It's
you ready?
irrelevant.
It's
Oh, yeah.
irrelevant. Who cares? We've got DeLoreans. We've got so much plutonium, and the Libyans can't find us because they're all dead. They ran into a 1 hour photo thing, and apparently that kills you, I guess. So we can go wherever we want as long as we want. So, without further ado, here we go. Let's talk about some Batman Christmas lists. Santa is coming down that chimney, and he has a sack full of Batman crap for me to put all over my house.
And we've both been good this year. I mean, we've been really good.
We have. We absolutely have. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll go with that. Sure. We've been good.
There we go. Yeah.
Great. So I got to tell you real quick, just because it's funny. I told Catherine, that we were recording tonight. I told her what we were talking about, and she goes, "Oh, good." And I was like, "Oh, good. What?" And she goes, "I love those episodes because it gives me gift ideas."
Oh,
Because
man.
we did an episode, or I think might have been an email question a year ago, 2 years ago, I don't know, where someone says, what would you want? And I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to get like a Batarang, but every version of the Batarang throughout the years.
Yes.
And then lo and behold, my birthday, what does Catherine get me? 3D printed Batarangs from throughout the years that are now on the wall.
That.
So yeah, she's so some of these might be gift ideas, but Catherine, if you're listening, no pressure. It's all good. You don't have to get me anything. You gave me a beautiful daughter, and you give me love and support every day. I don't need any more Batman stuff.
Oh, and what about your Batman Christmas tree, by the way?
Yeah, she's the best. So
man,
yeah. I did post that as well when I I was in Illinois for a couple weeks for my mom, and then when I came back, there was a little Batman Christmas tree sitting on my desk waiting for me, which is super sweet and adorable.
Awesome.
And I love it. And it's right now, it's all lit. I'm looking at it as we talk about Christmas.
Love it.
Okay. So here we go. 5 Batman things you would have asked Santa for, regardless of when it came out. So I'm going to let you go first as the guest. What is the first thing on your Batman Christmas list?
All right, man. I'm starting at the top in no particular order, by the way. I love all of these things. Okay. I mean, it's no secret, right, that for better or worse, the Schumacher films were made in part to sell toys, right?
I have heard they're very toyetic.
Yeah. I mean, it came from the man's mouth himself. Come on.
And back then, when I was like all bitter and jaded, and I was like, I want my Batman dark and gritty. How dare you? Now I'm like all old and tired, and I'm like, no, a little bit of color's fine. That's good.
Right.
Yeah, give me the toys. I'll take the happiness.
Yeah, so like we can obviously debate, go at it over the films all day, as many folks do, right? But one thing is super clear. And it's really that these movies spawn some badass toy lines. I mean, to be frank, come on. And they're still spawning amazing toy lines. With me being a 90s kid, these were massive with me. Oh my gosh, both Forever and Batman and Robin took up a large portion, as I was saying, of my Christmas and birthday wish list back in the day. So no surprise there. I actually still have a few of my original figures that I played with essentially daily that came from that line to this day. So I'm going to start right there. All right.
Okay.
And I did not have these as a kid, so I'm picking these. I'm going with a 2-figure pack from Batman Forever entitled Guardians of Gotham City, featuring, of course, Batman and Robin, right? Just to have these two together in one pack. I mean, I love the packaging, first of all. It has that common theme with all the Batman Forever toys. It's the black and the green. And we do have, Batman and Robin represented on the cardboard. And then the suits are really cool too. I mean, they're pretty screen accurate. We've got an all black suit for Batman. We got the red and green for Robin. The masks, the casts, if you will, look pretty cool. Andy, how do you feel about this? I sent you the pic.
I own this, my friend.
Oh, you son of a gun.
Otherwise, it would probably be on my list. But
Oh.
I mean, I for years I've not been the big Batman Forever fan, but I've certainly softened on it in my old age, just like Batman and Robin. And at some point, gosh, at this point, it's probably 10 years ago, maybe even longer. I was like, I need some Batman Forever merchandise. And I didn't go crazy, but I went on eBay. And this is the best Batman and Robin action figures you could get from that line. These are the
Yeah.
most screen accurate. The fact that it's a 2-pack is a bonus. So, yeah, these are the best looking. And so this one I eBayed a while back, along with one Riddler and one Two-Face. And that's really all I have from that line. But this one was the one where even back in 95, I remember seeing it at Toys R Us and going, oh, yeah, that's the best one. So if you don't have it, I totally get why it's on your list because it's a great one. So the
Yeah.
Guardians of Gotham City Batman Forever 2-pack. Yeah, it's one that's worth adding to the collection or asking Santa for.
Yeah, come on. And I also failed to mention it has accessories as well. It's got a grapple hook and a batarang. So yeah, I'm so down on this.
Yeah, and like I said, I love the artwork of Batman and Robin on the
I
card.
know.
Really great. So yeah, no, this is a great 2-pack and it is a great selection.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So and it's worth noting, yes, we have all these photos. I will post the photos along with the episode on the Facebook page so that way anybody who's listening along wants to know what the heck we're talking about. Nice and easy for you. It'll be right there and you can check it out.
Perfect.
All right. What am I going to start with? Like I have them in chronological order. So I'll just stick with that. We'll stick chronologically. And so we'll go back to 1989. Because I already mentioned to you, like I had most of the toys, which is good. I mean, there weren't tons of toys. That was one of the things about Batman back in 1989 is none of the large toy manufacturers were interested. And so a small little upstart called Toy Biz got the license, made the Batman toys. And they did the best they could, but it was hard to keep up with demand. And the line was pretty small. It was Batman, Joker, Bob the Goon, the Batmobile, the Batcave, and the Batwing.
Mm.
And it would have been very easy to just fill this list with different versions of the Batmobile or the Batcave, because those are kind of the big ticket items that I didn't own, especially when I was a kid. But for Batman, I did have the 3 figures, Batman, Joker, and Bob, and I had the Batwing, which is its own story I've told in the past about finding it on clearance and paying $11, and I was so excited, and I still have it in a box somewhere, but I never had the Batmobile.
Oh,
And so,
iconic.
yeah, so the first item on my list is the Batman Batmobile from Toy Biz from 1989. Now, it doesn't have a hood. It's a convertible for the toy, but that's okay. I can forgive that because this is still the best Batmobile. Sorry about it. It is.
Oh
And
yeah.
it is iconic. And the fact that it's from that original line and it's one I never got, I wish I had, but at the time it just wasn't in the cards. The Batwing had to suffice, and it did. But yeah, go back in time to Christmas of '89. I would have loved to have found this Batmobile underneath the tree. Now, the
Man.
the picture I've got here, it has firing rockets, but it also says it comes with the cocoon,
Ah,
the
okay.
shields.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I could have swore maybe this was like the second line. I swore that when they first released it, and somebody out there, please chime in. I'm sure you guys will tell me. I feel like when they first released it, it did not come with the shields, but you could send away for the
I
shields.
think you're exactly right. I remember something weird, like what you're saying, like a mail order thing. I remember
Yeah.
they did some similar stuff with Star Wars figures back in the day. I think you're on to something there because I do recall that.
Yeah, and so I don't know if it was because they just didn't have time or if they didn't know the shields were gonna be such a big deal or a big moment in the film or who knows, but yeah, I remember the stories of people having to send away, and then it came and it was like a really light, kind of cheap little
Yeah,
piece of plastic,
like
and
a
then
little shell.
yeah, and then I guess eventually they ended up packaging it with it. But yeah, this one I love the Batman '89 artwork of him in the Batmobile, and yeah, I just love this car, and I would love, and I know that Kenner did better ones later. I know that, but there's something about getting the original Toy Biz one that I want.
Man, you'd have been the coolest kid on the block back in 1989. fine with this in your room, Andy.
I know. So, yep, I would have loved to have found that for Christmas.
Good pick. Love that.
Awesome. Well, what do you got next on your list?
Oh my goodness, where to start with this one? You know, Andy, funnily enough, I remember being at like a local kind of nerdy toy shop, comic store, and this had to be a year, maybe two ago, easily. And seeing this item that I'm about to talk about and immediately taking a pic and shooting it to you. I don't know if you remember that. Probably not.
Hmm.
But we're going to talk about it.
Wait,
So,
wait.
so
I think I know what you're talking about. Please continue. Yes,
okay, all
it's
right.
coming back to me. You're shaking off the cobwebs.
So, like, being a radio guy like myself, I guess it comes to absolutely no surprise. Like, from a young age, I kind of enjoyed the sound of my own voice to a degree. Like, I was just born a talker, shockingly. There,
You
yeah.
no.
Who
Come
would have
come on now.
thought?
Never.
Come on.
You're so introverted.
So therefore, on my Batman Christmas wish list, I'm adding yet another item from the Batman Forever toy line. That's right. We're sticking with Batman Forever. And that is, oh, my friends, a Batman cassette player / recorder with sing-along microphone. Give me a break.
with all the singing that Batman does,
Well,
it's yeah, of
without
course.
singing.
You
That's
need the
the thing.
sing-along microphone. You need it.
Okay, so first of all, this thing is literally shaped like Batman's head. I mean, it is his actual face with the cowl and all. I mean, this thing is like a sight to behold, Andy, is it not?
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, and it just goes to show, like, whenever there was Batmania, I mean, and there were certainly the peaks of Batmania, but every time a Batman movie comes out, there is a version of Batmania, and the amount of different random products they will slap Batman on to sell them
Yes.
is fun and insane. And this is a perfect example of, like, figures, of course, action figures, clothes, yeah, sleeping bags, right? But a cassette player recorder with a sing-along microphone. I mean, that just says Batman.
Oh my god. I mean, you have to see this thing. It is absolutely hilarious. So, go back to 95 with me for a minute. I can just see me, putting in my Batman Forever cassette, queuing up, U2, Seal, having my own little Gotham karaoke set, as you do.
Oh, see, I guess the sing-along microphone makes more sense when you think about the soundtrack.
Oh, see,
You could
yeah,
sing
come
along to
on.
Seal. Yes.
Kiss from a Rose. Let's go. I can also totally see me. You remember doing this back in the day, putting like blank tapes in and recording my own little shows, right?
I think we all did that. At least I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that brings me to my next point, Andy. I mean, I'm a physical media advocate, to put it lightly. What better way to record your first cassette only edition of Holy BatCast than with the Batman cassette player recorder from 1995?
I have no argument to that. You're
We're
right.
on to something.
You're
It's going to
right.
be limited edition.
That would be amazing. Well,
That's
next time
right.
we get together, we're going to buy one of these. And next time we get together, we're going to do a podcast on cassette and then somehow figure out how to digitize and release it. But
We're going to have to share the microphone.
I know we'll just pass it back and forth between each other.
Dude, this thing is amazing. Like, it even has like a little handle like between the ears, like where you can carry it around.
Yeah, carrying handle lets you take it
Just
anywhere. You can take it anywhere. You can take it to the movies, to school, to grandma's house. Anytime you might want to
yes.
record something.
And buy your own double A's, batteries not included, kids.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God. Ah, yes, I remember you sending me this picture. You didn't buy it though, did you?
I did not. And
Yeah.
what's funny though, and this is even dumber, but I did not buy it. And I remember going back to that same place like a while later, and they still had it. So God knows they may still have it. I'll buy it tomorrow. I should go look.
I think you've got to check at this point. Like, it
Yes, I
is your
really
duty
do.
because if it's still there, it's a sign.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
You
point.
gave other people a chance, and now it should be yours.
I'm taking it home.
Yep.
It's my own little gift.
And then you can take it anywhere. I challenge you to do just that. I want you to take it to church. I want you to take it when you go out to eat. I'm just be like, all right, got my car keys, my wallet, and my Batman Forever
I'm
cassette
gonna be
player
that guy.
ready
I'm
to
gonna
go.
bring
Yeah.
some 1995 headphones, like
Oh,
some Walkman,
yeah.
headphones, and I'm gonna be set.
It's a great choice, and I hope Santa brings it for you. I hope Sierra listens too. Maybe she gets some gift
Come
ideas.
on, Sierra.
Come on, he needs it. He's been a good boy. He deserves it.
She begs to differ.
Well, if anyone would know.
This is true.
All right, I'm going to jump ahead to 1992. I also tried to not. I could have filled this list with just Batman 89 crap or
Oh, dude, yes.
Batman Returns crap. And I tried to not. So I tried to spread the love amongst the different versions of Batman. So I am jumping to 1992 to Batman Returns, and I'm not going to do a toy. I'm going to do something that's toy adjacent, because again, when this movie came out, and this would have been a perfectly appropriate Christmas gift for me at my age when Batman Returns came out in 1992, and I didn't get it in 1992 because it wouldn't have made sense, which I'll say in just a second. But anyway, my choice is the Batman Returns Super Nintendo game from Konami.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason it wouldn't make sense is I was a Sega Genesis kid. I didn't
Dude,
own a Super Nintendo.
same here. And I love that you say that, because when I saw your list, I thought for years I have wanted this. I've wanted to play this, but I never owned a Super Nintendo.
I know. And so I had the Batman Returns game on Sega Genesis, and it was fine. I never got very far on it. And I don't know if it's because it was really hard or because I just wasn't patient enough. It's
Yeah.
always hard to tell. Um, Again, listeners who've played the Sega Genesis game, tell me, was it hard or was it just me? Let me know. I'm very curious, because I did own it and I did play it, but I never got past like one or two levels. Like, just never got very deep into it. But and you probably know, like, as a Genesis kid, there was this, oh man, heated rivalry with
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Nintendo people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Genesis was the cool console. Uh-oh. Hot
exactly.
take.
I know. And friendships ended over the rivalry between Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo.
True.
And so I was always adamant, regardless, that the Genesis version was better of whatever game we're talking about. It doesn't even matter. Like, I mean, everybody knows that the Aladdin game was superior on Genesis.
Come
Sorry, it was.
on.
Everyone knows this. But Batman Returns is where I gotta give the point to Super Nintendo. That game was better. So it was
Hmm.
essentially like a Final Fight clone, which is interesting
Oh,
because
yeah.
Final Fight was Capcom, but that was another great game. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up game.
That's right.
And they did it with Batman Returns. And I certainly didn't own it in 1992. But in the many years since, I have gotten an emulator, and I
Oh,
have
yeah.
played it on an emulator. And it's a great freaking game. The graphics are awesome. What's, circa 1992, but it totally leans into and evokes the feelings of the movie, the scenes, the stages. It's very Christmassy. It's a great game to play at Christmas because
Oh,
there's
that's
lots of
awesome.
Christmas decorations in the background. And so, yeah, this game, I mean, I played it later in life and it was great. It is great. I didn't beat it. I also, again, now if I commit the time to finish a game, there's something wrong because I just don't have the time. But it's one of those where I go to the emulator and I'll play it for 15-20 minutes and it'll be fun. But it was a great game. And yeah, if I could go back in time, this was the only reason I would want a Super Nintendo, really, was for this game.
Man, you're gonna have to trade some secrets with me on that emulator, because I got to get on that.
Yeah, it's awesome. My brother-in-law was nice enough to put together the emulator for me on a Raspberry Pi. I don't know if you heard of that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he's like, oh yeah, just send me a list of whatever games you want. And I was literally like, every Batman game ever made.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's like, I'll be simple.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, and then a bunch of others, but I was like, that was the most important because I finally was able to play this. But gamers will tell you that this was, especially back then, great movie games were pretty rare. This was one of them. Even if it was a clone, it doesn't matter because it was fun to play, it looked great, and it felt like the movie. So the Batman Returns Super Nintendo game was where it was at. At the very least, go on YouTube and watch like a playthrough for the first 5-10 minutes just to get a feel for it. But it was really cool.
Yeah, man, that's such a good pick. And I love the graphics, love the artwork on this. And man, you saying how much, Christmas is featured throughout it. That's really exciting too.
See, like I want Christmas. When I'm in Christmas mode, I only listen to Christmas, I watch Christmas, and I only want to play
Mhm.
Christmas. And see, there's a perfect way to do it. All right. What's the next item on your list, my friend?
Oh, let's see what we got. Well, we were talking about those bat caves earlier,
Yeah, we
Andy.
were.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the deal. I actually had this as a kid, but you know what? I played with this thing so freaking much and I love it and I miss it. I don't know where the hell it is. Probably some in some attic, who knows. Um wow, if you are, we talked about this really. If you're familiar with essentially any Wayne Manor Batcave playset, then you're familiar with all the Wayne Manor Batcave playsets, as we just talked about. So with this, I'm going to do the Batman and Robin one. Okay.
Yeah.
The Batman and Robin from 97. So you essentially get, a fold out Wayne mansion that includes, of course, the Batcave. Now, this particular version being released with Batman and Robin, it's ice themed. The Batcave is.
Mhm.
Now, why the Batcave is iced over? It's anyone's guess. But 8-year-old Preston, I thought it was the coolest thing. All right, so there
Listen,
it is.
45-year-old Andy agrees. Like
I,
when I put all these bat caves up on the
yeah.
page, and yeah, they're all painted slightly differently. And yeah, for Batman and Robin, they went with cooler tones, lots of blues, grays, whites to make it evoke
Hmm.
ice. I don't care if it makes sense. It's just it looks great. So I think this I have to put it. I'd have to look at them all again, but this one certainly jumps out as one of my favorites because I've said it before. I'm a sucker for the aesthetic quality of ice.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the blue is so cool. I love that, and I love like I don't even know what you call it, like the little door that you can put your figure in, right? Your
Hmm.
bat figure, that was super cool. I mean, I played with this thing all the time. Man, we've talked about this before as well in some capacity, but one of the coolest things, to do while you're playing with action figures when you're a kid, right, is combining figures from different lines. So
Oh,
dude, I was like
worlds
a
are
huge
colliding, Jerry.
worlds are colliding. I was a huge wrestling action figure collector.
Oh,
So, I mean, I remember getting them in the mix with Batman, coming up with all kinds of crazy stuff, man. So many awesome memories with this one. And, this one might take the cake. I cannot believe I'm about to say this because this is unbelievably ridiculous. When I was probably, how old was I? 8, 9 years old. I had some friends over, all right? And I can't believe I was playing cards at 8, 9 years old, but I literally lost my Wayne Manor Batcave on a card hand at 9
no.
years old. And here's the funny part, if that wasn't funny enough. The friend's parents like found out that it happened and made him give it back to me. So I win. I win.
Oh my god! Thank God, because that was about to be a really sad story.
I mean, a 9-year-old with a gambling problem. I mean, losing my toys. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I'm all good, folks.
Oh my god! Thank God. I was really worried there. I mean, you still ended up losing it, so what
To
difference
be
does it
fair,
make?
I probably won. He probably talked me into thinking I lost because I
Mhm.
didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness. Yeah, no, this thing is awesome. I love it. And like I said, like because it would have been so easy for it to be like, well, yeah, I mean, for Christmas, I'd want the Batcave from every movie.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
glad you also were like, oh, I'm just gonna pick one. I'm not
Yes,
saying I
yes.
picked one. I'm just saying I wasn't gonna pick one from everyone because I couldn't have.
Hmm.
But excellent choice.
Oh, thank you.
You should look on eBay, see how much one is.
I know, right? I I know. I don't think they're that bad, especially
Oh,
open.
alright,
Those are
see, and
tempting.
that's the things I like, I don't mind if they're open, if they're in great shape because, like, I wanna display it anyway, so
Mhm.
alright, well, I'm gonna stay in 1997 with you,
Oh.
and this one, you know, it's maybe a little more grown up than most of the things we're talking about, but is still certainly I would have asked for Christmas, even if I was 10 years old, and I would have asked for it for Christmas if I was 20 years old, and I wouldn't be mad if I got it for Christmas at 45 years old. And that is the Batman and Robin WB store statues,
Oh,
specifically the Batman statue.
so nice.
So I've talked about these statues a lot over the years because two of my favorite Batman collectibles are the Batman and Robin comic book version WB store statues. I love those so much. The sculpts are amazing. They're beautiful. I've had them on display forever. And over the past 2 years, I've started filling in those gaps. So I picked up a comic book Riddler. I picked up a comic book Catwoman and Poison Ivy, and I love them. And then last year, I got a great deal on the WB store statue for Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
Oh, that's so cool.
And he is so cool. He's great. He did break in shipping, which made me very sad, but it was fixable. The problem is
Oh,
if you
good.
don't keep the box, it's very hard to pack them so they do not break. So
I see.
I don't even blame the seller. He did his best. But yeah, it came and there were a couple pieces that needed to be glued back on, but you'd never know unless you were looking. But I got the Mr. Freeze and I have the Batman Forever Robin. But because I've been filling in these gaps, they're so great. I love them so much. And the George Clooney Batman one is awesome. He looks great and it would look really nice next to the Mr. Freeze. And so back in 97, these were only like $40 or $50 brand new and they were great statues for 40 or $50.
Oh,
And
man.
and
Yeah.
if you look, you can still find pretty good deals on them. That's why I have picked up so many over the past few years because, you know, I've been able to get them for about 100,
Okay.
which, it's not cheap, but it's like, only double the price in 20 plus years. It's not terrible. But
It's
yeah,
inflation, adjusted
exactly.
for inflation.
Exactly. But yeah, so like I love these statues. They're some of my favorites. They're some of my favorite display pieces. And the George Clooney Batman one is pretty awesome, especially again now that I have kind of this nostalgic soft spot for the Schumacher films. Yeah, I think that this one is pretty badass.
Man, love this too. This thing's just got a great look. I mean, gosh, like you said, not to belabor the point, but I mean, 40, $50 for this thing retail, like what a deal that was.
Yeah. And although one complaint, it doesn't have nipples. If
Oh,
I'm
Joel
buying if I'm
Joel
buying a
Schumacher.
Schumacher statue,
Hmm.
give me some nipples,
He
okay?
is very upset.
And he's he's so
Well,
mad in the afterlife right now.
he's still mad.
He's so pissed. But yeah, it's just great. It's the Clooney Batman kind of in this great heroic pose with the cape in the background, and I always appreciated that the Clooney suit had just a very subtle blue tint,
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
so slightly. It's like a bluish black as opposed to a black, and yeah, I just really like it.
That's true. That is true. Oh man, and now you got the McFarlane figure making me jealous over there. Oh
Yeah,
man.
hold on, I need to look and see if he's a little blue.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's pretty black. Yeah,
Oh.
he's pretty, but he has nipples, so that's good.
It's the trade-off. All
Yeah,
right,
you
fair
know what?
enough.
He's straight up jet black, but he's got nipples, so I guess I'm gonna have to deal with it. All right, cool. So, yep, the WB store Batman and Robin Batman statue. Because again, even at 10 years old, if I was a little kid, I still would have gone nuts for this thing because I would go to the WB store as a kid and just ogle these things because I was like, oh, they're so cool, but I could never get them and I could never afford them and my parents will never buy them for me. And that's the beauty of then being an adult with an eBay account and some disposable income.
Some disposable cash. That's right.
Harley doesn't need any new clothes. She's fine. Daddy needs a statue.
Look, one bottle a day. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
So you can just eat part of my food. It's fine.
Yeah.
Here. Two legs for
Harley,
me, one for you. It's fine.
ramen noodles.
Yes, but isn't that statue cool, Harley? You'll inherit it someday. Don't worry. It'll all be worth it.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
great.
What is your next choice?
Oh man, so you've already dipped into the video game world a little bit with Batman. I'm gonna do the same right now with this next pick. And I'm going to pick a game that from the moment I saw it on a shelf, I just knew I had to have this thing. I'm going back to the good old PS2 days. Yes, indeed. I am picking up Batman Vengeance from 2001. Andy, are you very familiar with this title?
Remember, like a little while ago, when I said if I ever play a game to the end, that is crazy?
Oh, yes.
Batman Vengeance, I played all the way till the end.
Oh,
I
that's
played it
awesome.
on GameCube,
Yeah, I was
but
curious what console you had it.
I
Yeah.
I had the GameCube. I loved this game. I committed to this game. I played it all the way through. It is one of my favorite Batman games, if not my favorite Batman game.
Right. I am so glad to hear that, man, because it has always been, if not the top, very, very near it, kind of like you. This thing was released on PS2, Game Boy Advance actually got a copy, GameCube, Xbox, on Windows for the PC, obviously. Ubisoft put it out. So it was based on the new Batman Adventures, first of all,
Mhm.
and it featured like the entire voice cast reprising their roles. And man, I know you can speak to this as well. One of the coolest things about this game, other than the gameplay, obviously, and stuff, were all the cutscenes.
Yeah.
They
So
had
so
some
so did you
amazing
play
cutscenes.
did you play through this whole game then?
No, dude, there's no way I beat this thing.
Oh, okay.
However, I probably cheated because I know that I've like quote unquote finished the game, but not while playing it. Like I probably watched it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay.
Like a compilation of the cutscenes and some of the gameplay and stuff. So had such a cool storyline though, where the apparent death of Joker, right? And he's like having to deal with all the other villains and all their schemes, right? So really awesome.
Yeah. No, I love this game. Like you said, I love the whole voice cast. It really just felt like a Batman animated series movie that you happen to be playing.
Yeah.
My favorite boss battle was Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
It
okay.
was
Yep.
great because the whole time he just keeps taunting you, and it's that great Mr. Freeze voice that
Yes.
Michael and Sarah, is that it? And yeah, so I have that burned in my head where he just kept, he keeps taunting you as you're trying to hide from him and everything. But yeah, like I actually managed to beat this game, which was a pretty big accomplishment. I loved it, and it's a great choice.
Man, thank you. I just love this freaking artwork. Like I just remember seeing this being like, "Holy crap." Like I
Yeah.
have to have this.
Nope. It is an excellent choice. It was part of my decision to get a GameCube.
Man, that's awesome. I own See, I don't own the game anymore. Like I have no idea what happened to it through the years. So I have both a PS2 and a GameCube currently. Like I need to pick it up for one of them for
I,
sure. That would
I
be
still have
fun.
the game, but my GameCube died in storage.
Oh,
And so one of these days I keep meaning to get like a refurbished one because I still have all my
yeah.
games and I would love to play them again. But
That's
yep.
awesome.
Yeah. But no, Batman Vengeance is a great game.
Heck yeah, man. Glad you dug it.
Yep. All right. Good thing to ask Santa for.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm jumping ahead again. And this one, it is very toyetic, but to me, the reason I picked it is because it also feels like a perfect Christmas gift. Because it's not something that like is an impulse buy when you're at Toys R Us or Target or something. This is like a big thing that it's got to be a special occasion for your family to buy this for you. So it's going to be birthday or it's going to be Christmas.
You had to earn it.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I chose was from Batman Begins. It is the Hot Wheels electric racing set. So, like the slot car racing, and this one says Race to Save Gotham City. I can't tell if that's the official name of the product or if that's just a slogan, but regardless, it's the Hot Wheels slot car racing from Batman Begins.
Man, this thing is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
So, first of all, much like a Batcave, I could have chosen a slot racing set from any Batman movie, starting with Batman Returns all the way through The Dark Knight.
Oh, wow.
They
Okay.
made one for every movie, at least through those.
Dude, I didn't realize that.
Neither did I until I did a little Googling today.
Oh my
Because I
gosh.
knew I had seen one for Batman Returns, and I thought I had seen one for Batman Forever, and sure enough, Returns Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight all had one. I stopped looking at that point. They might have done one for Dark Knight Rises too, for all I know. But anyway, the reason I chose this one is because I wanted to represent the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins is still my favorite movie in the Dark Knight trilogy. And I think Batman Begins has the best Batmobile chase on film.
Oh, you ain't lying.
And so I want the slot car racing that evokes that amazing chase scene from Batman Begins. And so here you're
Yeah.
racing a tumbler and a police cruiser. And it comes with even like a little pop out Gotham City that's super cool. And what I loved about these slot car racing is I feel like almost everyone got one at least one Christmas. And you
Sure.
set it up on Christmas morning and you play it with your dad and your brothers and sisters and you play it and you're like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." And then you move it into the basement and you never touch it again.
Ah, that's very accurate, actually.
The
Yes.
slot car racing is the coolest thing Christmas morning, and then you never need to use it ever again. And so this to me, I'm like, yeah, I would be thrilled to have this on Christmas morning. I would be thrilled to play it. And yeah, that would be it. That would be the end of the story. But I love this thing. I don't think I even realized they made this until today. And when I
No.
saw it, I was like, oh man, that's great. And again, the artwork is amazing. There's this great silhouetted version of the Begins Batman and it's Hot Wheels branded, and again the cars and the Gotham City cutouts to make you feel like you're really there. It's really cool.
Man, one thing I have within the past year or two become really kind of nostalgic on are the Batman Begins toy lines.
Yeah,
There's some really underrated products in there, man, and we kind of are at a time now where you can actually kind of get them decently reasonably. Knock on wood for the most part,
yeah.
and I love this, man. I love this box, like, just the packaging itself, like you said, the silhouette of Batman. I love the Batman Begins logo with the Hot Wheels on the kinda upper left corner, "Race to Save Gotham City." Like, this just, man, this brings back some great memories. Even though I didn't have this, it just the packaging itself is that same theme as the other Batman Begins products, and, man, love these, man. Had some great figures and
Hmm.
there's some really good stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. And I feel like Begins was like the most merchandised, and then the Dark Knight, you know,
Yep.
fairly, and then Rises was the least. It was like, ironically, as the movies got bigger, the merchandise got less because I guess the movies kept started being considered more serious and adult, so there were less kids
Yeah,
things.
that's true.
But Begins, that yeah, they did the full onslaught of toys and merchandise,
Mhm.
and then for this one, the Dark Knight one looks like it's just the same thing repackaged, which
Okay.
again, we have now seen is pretty common for the toy companies. Um, but yeah, so it is fun to see this, and you're right. Just seeing that logo on a toy, you're like, oh man, that's right. It was fun to see this stuff in the aisles back in 2005.
Yes, it was. Good times, man. I never will forget, dude. I remember I didn't even have fast internet at the time. I was still on dial-up, and I didn't even know I was 11, 12. Well, I was like 12. I didn't even know, like, what message boards were. I didn't even know they existed, so I literally would go to the Batman Begins website every single day, just, like, hoping there would be, like, something there that wasn't there the day before, whether it be pictures, some sort of artwork. Like, I've got such fond memories, man. It was really one of the first movies I remember having just, like, an unreal anticipation for. So, yeah, like I said, super, super nostalgic for me.
Yeah, good. Well, that was part of the fun of this is like not only picking things that I'm like, oh, I wish I'd have gotten that when I was little. It was just doing a little bit of internet Googling and going, wait a minute, they had this? Oh, how cool.
That's
So,
right, man.
all right. Well, that brings us to our final choice. And oh, knowing your choices, you saved the most extravagant for last.
You're right. You talk about
Oh, you better have been a good boy if you want
you
this. Santa's checking that list like 4 or 5 times.
he's like, "Jesus,
He's
kid, you're
like,
not getting
"Preston,
anything else."
you've got some nerve, Preston. You know why
Okay.
there's a bunch of other kids in this world."
I I'm gonna cheat here a little bit because I just want to read this write up almost verbatim because
Oh.
this is like just eloquently written,
Mhm.
okay? And we're gonna actually go back to the start, Andy, with that Batman brochure, that
Mhm.
Batman program with all the merch and all the fun stuff from 1989. All right, get this.
So should I have asked Santa for Heather Langenkamp in the
Dude,
Batman
damn it.
Viking outfit?
You brought up I was gonna mention
Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No,
steal your
no,
thunder. I
I'm
was
glad you did. No, I mean, I was gonna mention it
That's my
earlier
number one.
and we
Please deliver Heather Langenkamp circa 1989 in the Batman Viking outfit.
the
She could
Batman
she could
spandex.
she could bike right up to my house, and
Dude, when
I got to update my hall pass list with my wife, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
I was like, I'll get to my item in a second. Sticking with the Heather Langenkamp thing for a second. I was thinking, holy crap! Like this was post Nightmare on Elm Street. Like,
Yeah,
man, she was still modeling. Like, get this woman some work on screen. But hey, good for her.
I love it.
Oh, that was so funny, man. When I saw her on that, I recognized her from the moment. All right, but let's get to this item. I
Okay,
love this
okay.
so
Sorry,
much. This
sorry.
is
It's
no,
next to
no.
Heather, but I was distracted.
Literally is right next to her. So I'm going to start reading, okay? This is it. The most incredible movie jacket ever created. Each is handmade with images from Batman the movie, individually airbrushed onto 100% cotton acid washed black denim. Back
Mm.
shows the Batmobile crossing a bridge into nighttime Gotham City while the faces of Batman and the Joker watch enigmatically from above. Wow. Hundreds of the finest quality Australian rhinestones bring Gotham City's lights to life. This thing is pure sex. Okay, like what else is there to say, Andy? What do you have to say about this thing? I mean, I pretty much described what you see on it. This thing is ridiculous, and I want it more than anything.
So, it's funny. So I posted this brochure the other day or last week, and a lot of people were commenting on it. And someone even called out, like, oh my God, that jacket is $500. And for some reason, I just never paid much attention to the rhinestone jacket. I was like, oh yeah, cool. It's a jacket with Batman and the Joker on the back. That's
Right,
cool. And
airbrushed.
exactly. I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't zone in on it. And I was like, holy crap, he's right. It was $500 in 1989 with rhinestones, real
With
Australian rhinestones?
real
Is that
Australian
like what does that
rhinestones.
mean?
We're
Like
gonna have to ask Brendan.
is Australia famous for their
Yeah.
rhinestones? That's not something that's a thing, right? Is it? I don't know. Is poor
Oh
little
my
Henry working in like
god.
a rhinestone sweatshop right now and I don't
Dude.
know it? I have no idea. I didn't know that Australian rhinestones were something to crow about.
Oh my god.
Um, But I mean, the image is amazing. It is. It's great. It's Keaton's Batman, Nicholson's Joker, the Batmobile, Gotham, the bat symbol right dead center, and then that cool Batman font logo, and then all sparkly. So it's like if you want to tell people what the best movie ever made was, but you also want to be fabulous about it, this is the jacket for you.
Listen, Andy, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna buy the rhinestone jacket. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna come pick you up. We're gonna go to the mall. I'm gonna get us both some Annie Ann's. We're gonna walk around and we're gonna have a great evening. Okay.
Oh my God. Yes, because this is a jacket that needs to be shown off. Yeah.
Come on.
When you wear this, you have no choice but to strut. You want everyone in that mall, the abandoned mall, now that it's
The
2023, you
abandoned
want
mall.
everyone in that abandoned mall to know that you have no idea how to responsibly use your money and that you wanted this jacket.
So
And
get
and
oh, go
the
ahead.
czars of fashion can suck it because I want Batman, but I want rhinestones. What's
Oh,
wrong with both?
excuse me. This is fashion.
This
That's
is
what I
fashion.
say.
Yeah, I could pull it off. I truly think I can.
So, Andy, you hear me out on this. So, I did some serious digging online to see if I could find this jacket anywhere. Clearly, being sold on the secondary market because this
Mhm,
came out
mhm.
in freaking 1989. You can find them. They are findable. They are very rare. Not shockingly, I want to know how many of these they made. Like, I wanna know
Huh?
how many of them
Well,
sold.
how many did you sell at 500 bones in 1989?
The one that I found,
Even
like
Bob Kane wasn't wearing this
no,
one. He was wearing the
no,
$50 one that I had.
it was. You're exactly right. Even he couldn't
Even
get
Bob
this
Kane
one.
was like, "No, too much.
Yeah, come on,
Too
come on.
much."
So the one that I found, if I am not mistaken, let me see here. So I found it. Was this on Etsy? I think somebody had it listed on Etsy from like the United Kingdom. Okay, and this thing, $1,987 plus $46 shipping, mind you. So you're paying over 2 grand for this thing. I will say it's fabulous, as you noted. I mean, this son of a gun is handmade. I can't get over this thing, man. This is like next level insanity.
Listen, you sent me the screenshot of where you found this, and I saw that price, and I was like, "Well, what size is it?
Oh God, that's a good point.
I just wanna know. I just in case." Like, okay, yes, 2 grand, it's hefty, but it's a rhinestone Batman '89 jacket.
Man, it's one of a kind.
It's one of a
Catherine, I hope you're
kind.
listening.
So, Catherine, honey, baby, love you. You don't need to buy me the Batman Returns video game. I
Come
don't need
on.
it. I've got the emulator. It's fine. But if you want to get me the Batman rhinestone jacket, I'm not going to be mad about it. Okay?
Listen, I'll even go halfsies
Because
if we can like
oh yeah,
co-own it.
we could have like a custody agreement.
All right, all
Yeah, and
right.
the bonus if my wife buys this for me is she gets to be seen with me wearing it, which is totally worth 2 grand.
God. Oh God.
I will sparkle and shine everywhere we go. I will wear this till the day I die. You will bury me in it, honey.
He's a rhinestone Batman.
That's
Not
right.
not a
I'm a
cowboy. Yeah.
rhinestone Batman. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
No, it's amazing, and I
Oh,
can't believe I never paid much attention to it. But even at 2 grand, I'm just the tiniest bit tempted.
take my money.
Tiniest bit.
Who needs a home, mortgage, you know,
Listen,
all that
at
stuff.
this point in her life, if I give Harley a
Oh no.
bicycle for Christmas or if I give her an empty cardboard box, they're the same.
God.
So I need to take advantage of this moment in time where nothing matters to her. She's happy. She's happy with a cup of apple juice and YouTube. I'm just going to give her that for Christmas, and I'm going to get a rhinestone jacket.
Oh, oh, we've went off the rails.
Anyway,
Oh,
excellent choice, excellent, and I'm sad I didn't choose it, but I'm glad you did.
dude, how could I not?
Wow.
Please, if you're listening, I hope you already have. Go look this thing up. Just
Well,
do
I
it.
will post the photos as promised, but
Okay.
it's fabulous. It is. Only for the truest of fans, of which I am.
Oh my God. By the way, adjusted for inflation, I mean, I don't even want to know.
Oh, I thought you already looked up. I thought you were going to tell me.
No, you know what? I'll do that. I'll have it for you at the end of the
Yeah,
episode.
great. All right. So the Batman rhinestone jacket from 1989, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of audacity. And I love every little rhinestone on it.
You ain't kidding. All right, I'm about to have your answer. It is $1,240.
All right. All right. See?
1240. There you go.
So, I mean, really, the resale price, it's a little more than that, but I mean, it's not out of the neighborhood of what
Hey,
it would be with
let's
inflation.
let's call it fair.
Yeah, I think it's even. So I think it's perfectly reasonable. I think it's a good use of money.
Uh,
Awesome.
Lord.
Well, my final choice just pales in comparison. If I knew that's where we
Oh
were going,
no.
then
Oh no. I'm
I
excited
would
to
have
hear
saved it
it.
for last. Well, it's not. It's no rhinestone jacket, my friend.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
it's one of those that I didn't know existed until today.
Oh,
This came out of fun Googling because I didn't even know this was a thing. Because again, I pay attention to toys, but I didn't know. So mine comes from Batman v Superman.
oh, I know where you're going with this.
2016, not that long ago. So this one you really can get good deals on eBay. Um, and
True.
I mentioned earlier, like I can't pick a Batcave from every movie. I could have, but I'm not going to. So I saved my Batcave for Batman v Superman. I didn't
Oh,
know they made this monstrosity for Batman v Superman. I knew all the action figures. I own a bunch of the action figures. They're great. I own the Batmobile for Batman v Superman.
oh,
I
nice.
I did not see this massive, impressive Batcave. It's called the Ultimate Batcave, and normally I'd roll my eyes at such a claim, but I think they've earned it.
Dude, this is the Barbie mansion
It
of
is.
bat caves.
Yes, it is the Barbie Dream House of Batcave.
Yeah, Barbie Dream House, yes.
It is four levels.
Dude.
It is over 4 feet tall. It is huge. There is
Holy
so much to
crap.
it. The top of it is the freaking cityscape of Gotham with the bat signal.
Oh my gosh, I just noticed that.
Yeah, with the moon and clouds. So you go from the freaking skyline and like the little eagle gargoyle popping out of the building that Batman can perch atop. That's the top of the Batcave. And then you go from the exterior of the building into the building and then into multiple levels into the sub basements of the Batcave.
Man, and don't you get me started on that elevator
There's
either.
an elevator. And the elevator's from the movie. I mean, the rest of the Batcave, I'll be honest, doesn't really look like the movie. Not
Yeah.
really. But also, who cares? Um, the elevator's from the movie. But yeah, the elevator goes all the way up. And so you've got like a Bat computer room that has like the Batmobile blueprints. You have a kryptonite jail since it's Batman v Superman.
Oh man, I just noticed that.
Yeah, you have like a training room with like a weapons and an arsenal and like a dummy. You've got like a suit room where it looks like he's got some sort of
Mhm.
extra mechanical things to add to his suits. There's like a kryptonite cannon on one of the sides. I mean, there is so much stuff in this, and it is so big and it is so extra. How did this escape my vision?
I don't that is a great point because literally it was the first time I had ever seen this thing when you shared the image. I don't know how I'd never seen this. Over 4 feet tall. I mean, this is taller than the kids that it's being promoted to.
Yeah, it's huge, and I love it. That's amazing. So, we talked about Kenner using the same bat cave for how many years?
Many.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah,
I like that for Batman v Superman, which also, kind of like the Dark Knight trilogy, they made toys for, but the movie itself wasn't super kid friendly.
sure.
They made this amazing Batcave that I feel like has flown under the radar unfairly.
Now this we need to go in and buy. We need this thing.
It's pretty awesome. And again, I was just googling for images, but the eBay listings came up and it's not that bad. It ain't no 2
Oh.
grand, let me tell you that.
Well, are we in like the
I want to say it was like $100,
I was about to say, I didn't know if it'd
Yeah.
be under 100 or about yeah, come on.
I feel like it was somewhere in that neighborhood. I want to say it was like $59, but then they did the whole thing with $40 shipping,
Oh, yes, of course.
how they do that. But yeah, it is badass and I love it. And I just love how much there is to it. Like even one of the little platforms and panels all the way to the right, like looks like it has rain pouring down,
Yes.
yeah, it's just so cool. So if nothing else, I want all of our Batman friends out there to go to look this up and see how cool it is. And also Santa Claus, there's some kids out there who want some ultimate bat caves.
Man, let me say this, Santa Claus is gonna have a heck of a night putting this thing together on Christmas Eve, I know that much.
I need better because I'm not doing
Well,
it. But no, so yeah, there you go. That was my final choice. It lacks rhinestones, which is a mark against it. But aside from that, it's a pretty awesome toy. And again, if I was 10 years old in 2016, this would have been, the most amazing thing to get
oh,
on
man.
Christmas.
Oh, man, I say we just call our favorite Australian and get some of those rhinestones in, and we can do our own
We'll
customizations.
bedazzle it a little bit.
Little kryptonite
Yeah,
rhinestones.
see green
There
rhinestones
you
on that
go.
jail
Let's
would be
go.
cool. But yeah, I mean, like, and I've in the past I have mentioned the best Christmas gift I ever received was when I got Castle Grayskull.
Oh,
It's the best thing I ever got for Christmas. It was amazing.
man.
And this is like the Batman equivalent to that.
That's fair.
So, really great. Batman v Superman Ultimate Batcave.
Well done, sir.
There you go. So, 10 items on our Batman Christmas lists. Tell you what, if all this stuff showed up for Christmas, we would have a very Merry Christmas.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
Well, it's fun looking anyway.
It is. It is. And getting all nostalgic.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, so you had the Batman Forever Guardians of Gotham City 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kept the Batman Forever train going with the cassette player with sing-along microphone. So you can do your best Kiss from a Rose.
There you go.
Then you had the Batman and Robin Wayne Manor Batcave.
That's it.
Batman Vengeance for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then finally, the Batman Rhinestone Jacket from 1989. The pièce de résistance.
It's quite the investment.
Worth every penny. And I had the Batmobile from 1989 from Toy Biz. Then I had the Batman Returns Konami game for Super Nintendo. I had the Batman and Robin WB Store Batman statue, George Clooney. The Batman Begins Hot Wheels Electric Racing set. And then finally, the Batman v Superman Ultimate Batcave.
Yeah, I'm definitely not pulling up Batman Begins toys right now.
No, why would you? That'd be crazy.
That's not me.
Well, you know what? Whatever you do, I support you. I'm your friend. I just want you to be happy.
Hey, there's worse habits.
Exactly. Why don't people realize this? Awesome. Well, tons of fun picking out things for our Batman Christmas lists just in time for Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, everybody out there. What are on your Batman Christmas lists? What are some of the more random things that you could dig up that you wish you would have gotten for Christmas? We'd love to hear it.
Yes.
But we're not ready to say goodbye just yet. We've got to check in with you, fine feathered finks, and crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
Darren. What is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all, Master Wayne.
All right. First message here is from our old pal, Stephen Marshall. It says, "Hey guys, Andy, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom. Much love, my friend. I have a few questions that I wanted to ask you about upcoming DCU projects. First, we know that Brave and the Bold is probably 3 to 5 years out, but I've been thinking about the villains. Personally, I'm hoping for an ensemble of Batman's rogues, not necessarily all teaming up, but just in there as obstacles in Batman's way. Who are some of the villains you would like to see? And is it boring that I totally want the Joker again? Also, maybe boring, but I would love Bill Skarsgård to play him. Seems like an obvious fan cast, but I know that Gunn has been casting very close to type. Secondly, speaking of Superman Legacy, the casting for the movie has been incredible. I couldn't be more excited, but there's one little thing that's nagging at me. It could be irrelevant by the time you read this, but with the lack of announcement of casting for one of Superman's more recognized rogues, barring Lex, it has me a little concerned that we aren't getting one. Do you think Gunn may just be keeping this particular casting close to his chest? Lastly, with Superman Woman of Tomorrow moving quicker than expected, do you have any preference for Kara's casting, and who would you like to see direct? Take care, guys. All the best, Steven." All right, Steven, thank you so much. I mean, I think this could be a whole episode into itself, but we'll try to do it efficiently. So, the Brave and the Bold, any villains that you would well, first I'll say, I don't think it's boring that you want to see the Joker. Batman and the Joker go together.
Yeah.
I'm always down for another Joker. And Bill Skarsgård, is it an obvious fan cast? Kind of, but is there a reason for that? Yes, because I do think it would make a lot of sense. So I'm not mad at it at all. Any villains you would like to see, Preston?
Man, so, I mean, obviously, I know that James Gunn is not directing this particular film, but if we can kind of read the tea leaves on where, his vision of the DC universe is going, I don't think it's a stretch just to look at the casting of his own movie that he's doing right now with Superman and thinking like, man, like he's really going for this thing. Like we're getting a lot of really kind of new, unique characters that are going to be featured in this film. So Andy, I just think like, and totally understandably, you had your issues with the Batman. I am so excited for this kind of fresh take because I think this is going to really be a direction where you and a lot of folks that think along the same lines are really going to be excited, man, because I think there's going to be a lot of light and life kind of going into this. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. But as far as villains that I would love to see, especially in more of like a fantastical kind of sense, man, the first two that come to mind are Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze. I would love to see those two represented, and I don't think that that's a stretch, really.
No, those are my two favorites. So
Yeah,
I agree. Especially like if we're looking at ones that we are pretty sure we won't see in the Reeves universe.
exactly.
Yeah, like the more fantastical ones. Mr. Freeze and Scarecrow, I think, are both due for a big screen reimagining. And so I think they would be perfect for the Brave and the Bold. So yeah, I'm just going to agree with you.
Awesome. There we go.
Superman Legacy, lack of casting a different or another one of Superman's rogues. So there are still rumors out there that Brainiac will be in the film. I still think that's going to happen. I really do. Yeah, I think to your point, I think Gunn is just he's keeping this behind until it's time. So
Yeah.
I do not think it's just going to be Lex and the engineer. I think Brainiac will be part of the film. I think there will be casting for it. I think we just have to be patient.
That's fair. I agreed.
And then finally, Superman Woman of Tomorrow. Any thoughts on casting or directing, Preston?
Oh, goodness gracious. Greta Gerwig. No. But seriously.
Sure.
Yeah. Just call her up. I'm sure she's open. Oh, good Lord, man. I'm gonna be honest with you on this one. Being put on the spot, man, I don't even know. But what I do know is, listen, these folks know what they're doing as far as casting and getting these directors. I have no doubt that I'll be on board with whatever, because I'm so excited for that film. I mean, I love the book that it's based on, and it makes me so happy how well it's been selling and doing ever since that announcement was made. It's just been flying off the shelf. So I'm down for whatever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same. I have to give it some thought. I don't have anyone that jumps to mind. So yeah, I think I have to think about it. I'm sorry, Steven. But yeah, sometimes nothing comes to mind. And for me, because it's still a little ways away, I just haven't given it much thought, but
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what happens.
definitely.
Next message is from Benjamin. It says, "Hey, Holiday Batcasters. I hope the DCU log is burning bright and your cheerathon is going strong. I was just at the comic shop browsing old trades and I came across volume 1 of the DC Bombshells book. Because I'm wired for DC animation and collectibles and World War II, I can't believe I never thought of an animated Bombshells project. What would you want to see from the Bombshells in animation? Would you want an animated series, a standalone feature, and what characters would you like in the ensemble? Off the top of my head, I'd like a katana story, where she's torn between being a hero and staying true to her Japanese roots. And then you could tie her story in with Wonder Woman meets Oppenheimer and the A-bomb."
I think that's my answer right there.
Anyway, I think it'd be exciting to see a DC property born from collectibles come to life in animation. Thanks for the holiday bat cheer. As always, Benjamin. All right, thanks, Benjamin. Yeah, any thoughts on Bombshells in animation, Preston?
Wow, yeah, man, this is such a cool run, man. I also am a big fan of like World War II stuff. So tying in these amazing, women characters, protecting the home front, if you will, is just really awesome. And I would definitely be down for whatever they wanted to do. But I say just I say give us a DC animated film. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Same. I think that it would be a really awesome animated film, and I think that's the way to go. As for the characters, I I would love an ensemble. So I would love it to be
Oh yeah.
Wonder Woman and Batgirl and Harley Quinn and Katana and Mara. You know, I would like to see a nice cross section of female characters from around DC all being a part of the story. I don't know what the story is. Again, I haven't had time to think of one, but
Sure.
yeah, I would want a true Bombshells team up ensemble and where we could focus on a lot of the different great female characters.
Yeah, no, copy and paste, man. I think that would be so cool. And yeah, come on, give us a movie.
Yeah, I would
That'd be
love it.
great.
All right, next message is from Brian B. It says, "Hey guys, I hope things are going well during the holiday season. Andy, I wanted to send my condolences to you and your family after hearing on the latest pod about the passing of your mother. I could tell how much she meant to you listening to you talk about her, and I wanted to make sure that I sent you and your family my thoughts and prayers. My question is this. As mentioned in a question earlier in 2023, I rewatched the DC animated movies this year, and I recently wrapped it up. While the quality was hit and miss, it was still a fun project. So, what are some of your favorite non Batman movies? Personally, I'd say Wonder Woman, Green Lantern First Flight, and Justice Society World War II. Secondly, this October, I was able to see the original Dawn of the Dead in theaters, which was an absolute blast. Is there a movie that you love that you weren't able to see in theaters, but you would love to see on the big screen, or one that you finally caught years later?
Oh man.
As always, thank you for the hard work, and since this will most likely be my final email of the year, a happy holiday season. I always wish you guys the upcoming year will be the best yet, but Andy, I truly hope your 2024 is the best yet after this year that you've had. Best of luck, guys, Brian." Thank you, Brian, and thank you so much for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. It has been a year, my friend. It truly, truly has. So it means a lot. So DC animated movies, non-Batman, that are some of your favorites, Preston.
Man, let's see here. I had to pull up a list because it's kind of one of those things where there's so many. It's tough
Yeah,
to
there really are.
yeah, it's tough to like think about, to be honest. I think he mentioned First Flight, which I really like that one. That one's definitely a standout. Let's see here. I'm trying not to include any of the Justice League titles since that has a lot to do with Batman. Oh God. Yeah, see, I feel like all these do. Like, I really liked Battle of the Super Sons, and that's
Oh
clearly
yeah.
got Batman in it. Oh my gosh, why don't you give an answer, and I'll try to look around here.
Well, first Brian took two of my three, or I don't have three
Oh,
answers, but took two of my answers, which
well,
is
shit.
Wonder Woman
Yeah,
is
yeah,
amazing,
yes, you're right.
and Green Lantern First Flight is amazing.
Okay, and
Those
I
two.
thought Flashpoint, and I'm like, well,
But yeah. I mean, so many of them have Batman in them that yeah,
sure,
it's a little tricky. But yes, Wonder Woman and Green Lantern First Flight, I think, are both awesome.
definitely, those are
Um,
great.
and then I was going to say Batman is technically in them, but barely, and that's the Death and Return of Superman. I
Okay,
I
okay.
love that they went back and did that as a two-parter, and I think it's really good. I really like that one, and it's yes, Batman is in it. He has a small part, but it's much more a Superman story, and I think that two-parter, especially when they put them together and made it one movie, is really damn good. I really like that one.
That's true, man. I'm sitting here trying to think. I like Superman: The Last Son of Krypton. That's like mid '90s.
Mhm.
So that's
Like from Superman the Animated Series?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's going back, but that's a really good animated movie. Yeah, I'm kind of stumped on this one, man, but I love really all the ones we've mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. And I will also agree with him about Justice Society World War II. That one, I was shocked at how much I liked, but I really did.
I think I need to catch that one.
And then a movie that you love that you weren't able to see in theaters that you would love to, or one that you caught later, Preston.
Oh man, this is a very special question to me because oh my god, there's a number. I love, much like all of us. I mean, good lord, I love going to the theater and seeing my favorite movies on the big screen. I'm going to actually talk about one that I finally did get to experience on the big screen, and it was such a treat. Oh my gosh, for many different reasons. And people are going to laugh when they hear what the movie is just because of the content of the film, but it was just genuinely one of the sweetest things. First of all, this was either during 2020 or 2021, so it was very like pandemic times, right? And just such a insane time, and on top of everything that was going on. I mean, let's face it, it sucked that we couldn't go to the theater, right? Especially when you're somebody that loves going as much as I do, completely understandably, by the way, but it still hurt, right? So, for Christmas, my wife completely surprised me out of absolutely nowhere. She rented out an entire theater in Lexington, which is actually a couple hours away from us. And she paid the fees through the actual film company to get this movie screening to happen. We were the only ones in this huge theater. And she paid to show me one of my favorite films of all time on the big screen. Finally, and that movie is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, all right.
It was it was one of the sweetest things, man. And for whatever reason, again, that's one of my favorite movies. I had never gotten the chance to experience it in a theater, so it was so cool. Oh my gosh, I will never forget that. She even got me this collectible engraved ticket and all this cool stuff. So it was very special.
Awesome. That's great. You'll appreciate I've been lucky. Most of my favorite films I've been able to see on the big screen one way or another.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't around when they first came out, like Psycho and Jaws. Eventually I got to see them on the big screen because they did screenings and things. But you know which one I've never seen on the big screen, which I'm a little embarrassed to say? John Carpenter's Halloween.
Oh my goodness.
I have never seen it on the big screen. So that is one that, I would love to. When they re-released it in theaters a couple years ago, I think I was still in China, so I wasn't able to go. And just never worked out. That. I know.
We got to change that, man.
But as for ones that I finally got to see after many, many years, I've mentioned it before in the show, but it was amazing, is years ago at the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood, they did a double feature of Batman the movie from 1966 and Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh my gosh.
And that was awesome because I had never seen either of them on the big screen. Mask of the Phantasm was in theaters 2 days, back in 1993, and I missed it. And obviously I wasn't around in 1966. So to get both of those in the same night was awesome. And it's, one of my favorite memories as a Batman fan is finally getting to check those off the list.
Golly, man, that is incredible. See, that's the give and take of living out in LA. It might be expensive, but you get experiences like that.
I'll tell you what, that's what I miss. I don't want to say the most, but one of the things I miss the most is those theaters that are always showing classic films. I would go all the time and I loved it. I mean, I went to a triple feature of Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3 and had the best time.
For crying out loud. Yeah, I would give my leg, I feel like, to go to the New Beverly. And go to those screenings they have there. That's a place that I've yet to have gone, by the way. And it hurts.
Speaking of Christmas, the New Beverly would usually play Santa Claus the movie once a year at Christmas, and me and Scotty would always go.
On film, mind you.
Yes. And one year they even played One Magic Christmas.
Oh my God, dude. I think I remember you talking about that.
Oh my God. So even the most random movies, you can be lucky and find them on the big screen. And I miss being able to take advantage of that.
That's brilliant.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, one of me and Catherine's first dates was we went to a double feature at the Egyptian, and it was Batman Returns and Gremlins.
Oh my! Well, that's why you're together today.
And it was the best. And to this day, we still do that double feature sometime around Christmas every year.
Man, this is like an RF for RM episode waiting to happen. We could talk about this forever. Movies we want to see in theater or our favorite theatrical experiences. I love that.
Yep. And Daniel Waters, who wrote Batman Returns, was at the screening, and I talked to him in the lobby.
Oh,
and he was wearing a Shrek's department store t-shirt.
That's so awesome.
It was awesome. Yep. That was the other fun thing is you go to those screenings, you never know who might be there. And the fact that Daniel
Yeah.
Waters showed up to a screening of Batman Returns was awesome. Anyway,
Absolutely.
you're right. We could just go on and on. But Brian, thank you for the message and the kind words, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah, same to you.
Next message from Peter J. Jackson Jr. It says, Happy holiday season, Andy, Jamie, Brendan, and whoever else is joining. That's you, Preston.
Hi. Yeah, that's me.
I hope this finds you full of holiday cheer as we close out 2023 and move forward to the dawn of the new DCU in 2024. I've been a listener since episode 1, and I want to say that you make my commute to work on Mondays so much better. Getting to my question, what if WB commissioned a series of anthology films about Batman to stream on Max? Different directors, writers, and actors giving their take on the Caped Crusader, similar to Legends of the Dark Knight comic series. Think of the possibilities. You could have the team behind John Wick show an early Bruce training abroad. There could be a comedic take by someone like Judd Apatow. Jamie, please don't hate me. A creature feature by Guillermo del Toro with Man-Bat. Or I know Andy's not going to love this, but Rob Zombie's Batman versus Professor Pig.
Oh my God.
What do you think about this? And what are some pairings you would like to see? All the best. I hope you have a wonderful, happy season. Your friendly neighborhood Kentucky Colonel, Peter J. Jackson Jr.
Hey.
Well, thank you, Peter. And thanks for listening since episode 1. That's amazing. Well, I mean, I'd watch the hell out of this because it would be really fun to see a lot of different talented people do their take on Batman. I think that would be really cool. Not this Rob Zombie one. Nobody needs that, but the rest of them. I don't need Wayne Manor to be some beat up old shack in backwoods Kentucky.
Hey.
and Bruce Wayne is in love with Selena Kyle, but Selena Kyle's his sister. And I don't need any of that.
God. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but what would you want to see, Preston?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, all those were excellent that he mentioned. You know, man, this kind of takes some time to think about. One of the first things, like, hilariously, that came to my mind, God forbid, we don't need to see, the night the Waynes were murdered again ever, really. But if I did, can we get like Ari Aster's version of that? Like, is that too much to ask?
Interesting.
Crime Alley. I'm here for it.
All right.
It's gonna be scary.
Man. It's an interesting question. If people like you assume that if people will say yes, I love the idea of Guillermo del Toro doing sort of a horror tinged one with Man-Bat. I think that's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of what would be a really fun, campy throwback to the 60s. And I think of someone like Paul Feig, could do something really fun with that. I'm just trying to think of some of my favorite filmmakers and what they could do.
Exactly. Yeah, you're trying to think of your favorite film directors and what they kind of specialize in and how you can apply that to the world of Batman. That's a fun thought.
Well, here we go. And just because I don't like this character, but if anyone could make it work, what about James Wan doing Scarface? Because we know James Wan loves his creepy puppets.
That's true.
And if anyone could make Scarface work, I think it's him.
Oh God, I love the thought of that. Yes.
Anyway, this is another one that takes some thinking as far as, and I'm of course drawing a blank, and I'm going to be so embarrassed when we stop recording. I'm like, I should have said this.
I know.
But regardless, I would love it. It would be really fun to see different versions. I'd like to see Pixar take a crack at an hour-long Batman and see what that looks like,
Oh my gosh. That's true.
I always said that I thought Brad Bird should direct a Batman movie, so I'd love to see what his Batman looks like.
Yeah. Heck yeah, I'd be down for that.
So I don't know, Guillermo del Toro is a great call, and there's a lot of fun possibilities, but I'd watch the hell out of it if they were to ever make it.
Hear, hear.
Cool. All right, next message is from Dave Smitty. It says, "Hey, Bat Bros, I thought I'd share something. You guys were my number one podcast on Spotify this year. You beat out Tell 'em Steve Dave, and that's monumental, almost impossible. Thanks for all the fun times, and I hope that 2024 is a great year for you guys and for DC." And then he followed up and he said, "I'm just now listening to your latest episode, and I wanted to tell you how sorry I am for the loss of your mom. I hope you and your family are doing well at this difficult time. The tribute to her was touching. Take care. Be well, Smitty." Thank you, Smitty. Thank you for both messages. Glad to hear that we're your number one on Spotify. It's an honor. So thank you for listening that much. That means a lot. And definitely appreciate the kind words about my mom. Like you said, doing as well as we can. You got to go through the day to day, and then something reminds you, and it gets all hard again, and that's just the way it is, and it's the way it's always going to be. But I do appreciate your support, your kind words, and as well as the support from everyone else who has sent those messages over the past few weeks.
Man, Andy, on a lighter note with his question or more statement, really, talking about Holy BatCast being his top listened on Spotify, which is awesome. Congratulations! I'm sure you've been getting a lot of those messages, by the way. If you're comfortable answering this, I'm curious, what are some of your most listened to podcasts?
Well, I don't listen on Spotify.
See, I don't either. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't do the wrap up. But I can tell you the ones that I listen to. I mean, first of all, I listen to like the ones from our friends. I listen to Grim Gritting Hosts. I listen to From Pencils to Pixels. I listen to Horrors from the Vault. So I listen to those. I listen to How Did This Get Made?
Yes,
it's a classic. I like that one. Purple Stuff, of course. And then
That's
I like the Real Brady Bros.
Oh my God, I need to hear that.
Barry Williams and Christopher Knight doing episodic recaps of the Brady Bunch, because Brady Bunch is one of my favorites. And then another one that is really great is Rogues Gallery.
Okay.
And they're currently on their end of year hiatus. Good for them. I wish I could do the same. But every 2 weeks they do villains or anti-heroes, and they're really great. So I really enjoy that show too. The unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, for theme park stuff. So I guess those are the ones that are in regular rotation for me.
That's fun. Yeah, I was curious because we're in the season where everyone is sharing. I had to, because I've gotten some great podcast recommendations for you over the years, or from you over the years, some of which have sadly come and gone. And
I know.
So always on the lookout for something new.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what, but I mean, I don't want to say I'm careful about what I listen to, because that sounds like, it doesn't mean, I don't mean that negative, but there's only so much time. So
of course.
Yeah. So I just listen to the ones that like ironically, I don't listen to other DC podcasts.
Yeah.
And that's not in any way a commentary on anyone else's show. It's just,
no.
Yeah. And I've said it before. It's like, if I listen to someone else's show and then I cover the same thing, I find myself being influenced by what I've heard other people discuss.
For sure.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want to I don't want to be debating another show when they're not in the room, because I listened to their episode first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
So yeah. But there you go. There's some of them. What about you? Any you want to give a shout out to?
Oh man, let's see here. A couple that I listen to a lot, other than obviously the RF for RM shows. I mean, those are my top. But Purple Stuff podcast, I'm huge on. I'm a Patreon member of them, so I love their bonus shows as well. This is actually really funny and really stupid, but I find that, especially in stressful times, this totally, I can listen to this and it just takes my mind off of everything and makes me laugh for however long the episode is. But I basically go back to my childhood in the 90s and listen to a prank call podcast.
Oh, that's fun.
It's called The Snowplow Show. and it's ridiculous on every level, but it never ceases to like not make me hysterically laugh. So I've like really I've really gotten into like binge listening to that. But yeah, those are like my main ones these
All right.
days.
The other one, and I'll give this one a shout out. Just it's kind of what's the right word? It's like the Vegetables on My Plate podcast, but it really helps. It's called the Happiness Lab. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Looking
again,
that
it's
up.
like less quote unquote fun, and again, I don't mean that in a negative way, but like it's not talking about Batman or theme parks or anything, but it's really helpful because let's be honest, we're all struggling through something,
Oh
at
yeah.
all times. And the Happiness Lab, like it's like a little, and they're not long, which I love. They're like 30 minutes, maybe 40
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
of
see
like
that.
really useful advice on how to be just a little bit happier, like ways to frame up the challenges you're going through or to frame up your life and different techniques and strategies you can use when you are struggling. It's like free therapy, which, again, sounds
Oh,
weird, but I mean that in the really good way.
yeah.
And there's a lot that I have learned from that podcast that has really helped me. So for anybody like out there who's like, I don't have time for therapy or I'm going through stuff and I don't know what to do, like give the Happiness Lab a try. They're not paying me anything, but again, I've learned some things from there that I found really useful that I've even shared of being like, you know what, like when you're going through something, like one trick that is perfect is like what imagine your friend is going through what you are going through. What
Mm.
advice would you give to them?
Oh, it's a great
Because
question.
the advice you give to someone else is not the advice you give to yourself. We don't see others the way we see ourselves. And it's a perfect way to kind of be a little more objective about the situation and center yourself about the reality of what's going on. And like I learned that from the Happiness Lab. So when I hit a rough patch, I step out and go, okay, imagine Preston came to me and was going through this. What would I tell him? I would tell him this, and I would tell him this, and I would tell him this. And now I need to tell myself that. And it
Yeah.
helps. So anyway, that's its own tangent, but Happiness Lab.
Hey, they gained a subscriber. There
So,
we are.
all right. Well, let's move forward. Next message is our old pal Stuart from Guernsey. It said, this is something I've asked for the last few years. I'm going to ask again. Will there be another Christmas show this year? If so, can you tease what it would be? I'm so excited because I just downloaded your Nightmare Before Christmas episode on Disorder. I can't tell you how much I love this movie, and I can't wait to hear you guys geek out about it. Anyway, I hope you're doing well as can be. Andy, my thoughts are still with you and your family during this difficult time, Stuart. Thank you, Stuart. And well, this is already kind of a Christmas episode.
True.
This is this is a Christmas episode. And then I mean on Friday, there's a new Christmas special coming out.
Oh man, can't wait for that. And,
So,
and by the way, I want to second him. I loved that Nightmare Before Christmas episode, man. That was great.
oh, good. That's good to hear. I'm glad.
Yes.
Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, you can listen to Disorder, which you already are, but yes, I mean, there's this episode, and then, chances are pretty good that we're going to review the new Batman Christmas special that's coming out this year.
Heck yeah.
All right, one last email here. This is from Joshua. It says, "Hey, Andy, Jamie, and or Brendan. My name's Joshua. Andy, Andy, I've known your obnoxious love for Blue Devil for as long as I've known your podcast. I've wondered, have you ever heard of Shadow Pact? It's a 25-issue miniseries that includes the Enchantress, Detective Chimp, Nightmaster, Ragman, Nightshade, Zoriel, and of course, Blue Devil. I went to my local comic shop to ask them if they had anything with Blue Devil, and that was all they could find, as well as the New 52 Black Lightning and Blue Devil team up. Thanks for reading, Joshua." Thanks, Joshua. Yes, I've heard of Shadow Pact. It's awesome. I'm really mad it only lasted for 25 issues because it was great. I didn't discover it until DC Universe, the app. And then I found it
Okay.
there because I think I just did a search for Blue Devil and I read the entire run. So, see, my obnoxious love for Blue Devil, it's not just lip service. I legit love him. I read the entire original run from the 80s, every issue.
Wow.
And then I searched for other Blue Devil content and I came across Shadow Pact and it was awesome. It was like Justice League Dark before they coined the term Justice League Dark.
Yeah, sure.
And
Yeah.
it was a great book. And yeah, I love Blue Devil. I love Ragman. I also think he's really awesome. So yeah, it was a really good book. I highly recommend it, especially if you have the DC Universe app.
All right. Note made.
If you like these characters, but
For sure.
But it was like definitely the reinvention of Blue Devil. Where he's less 80s and a little more modern, and it was great. So Joshua, thanks for the heads up. But yeah, I was a big fan of that book.
That's awesome.
And that's where we're closing the mailbox. If you got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, that email address is holybatcast@rf4rm.com. But so we're going to wrap up this episode. Preston, thanks again for making the time. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Buddy, anytime. Thank you so much, man. I've had a blast talking about just awesome Batman stuff, right? That's what we do here. Yeah, gosh, keep up with me if you like, or don't if you don't want to. That's fine as well. I'm
You're
kind
so
of
unlikable. Nobody wants to follow you.
I'm kind of all over the place, man. You can find me on Facebook under Preston Green. That's my radio name, so it's kind of confusing. But I'm on the RF for RM pages, of course. Gosh, I'm on Twitter as well, at Preston967. Andy mentioned this briefly, so you can actually listen to me over on Horrors from the Vault. Listen, if you like horror, if you like Tales from the Crypt, we got you covered. Really disorder style with Tales from the Crypt, going episode by episode. We're up into season 2 at this point. It's been a blast with good friends Dan and Hunter. So yeah, join us over there, and have good stuff all around.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that. I've been enjoying watching along with you guys.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say that last episode, The Sacrifice, was garbage. And I'm glad they talked you down from your rating because it was terrible.
Man. Yeah,
that's that one. I was like, what is this? This is nonsense. So anyway, other than that, I've been enjoying the journey. It's been fun.
Fantastic.
But thank you, Preston. And I already told you guys where to follow me. So follow me or don't. It's okay. It's your life. But thank you for joining us as always. We do appreciate it. Thanks for streaming or downloading the show. Please do subscribe or follow the show wherever you get your podcasts. And something else that you can do for Christmas, if you're feeling giving, is something that's not going to cost you a penny. Just rate and review us. That's it. It's simple. It takes a minute, and you just give us a rating and some nice words, and it helps us out. We would love that. So please do that if it's a nice rating. If it's not a nice rating, that's okay. Keep it yourself. It's Christmas time. Also, again, find us all over holybatcast.com, Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, just Holy BatCast. You will find us. If you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, that email address again is holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Our theme music was created by the talented Guru Venkateswar. You can find his work at gvtunes.com. And don't forget to check out our sponsors and friends over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, do a little shopping, and use that promo code BATSCAPED for 20% off and free shipping. But that will do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Holy BatCast is not affiliated with Warner Brothers or DC Entertainment. The views and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for. Woohoo! And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney, he better be bringing Batman toys.
A 4-foot friggin' structure and a rhinestone jacket.
You're damn right. Otherwise, don't show up, fat man.